Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to Picturesque Bathurst. Yes, today we are back doing another one of our interesting, weird and downright stupid F1 challenges. Of course, it's the Bathurst 12 hours this weekend, only a week after the Daytona 24. So again, we're back answering the age-old question of how would an F1 car fare around this circuit. Now, this place obviously is an icon of Australian motorsport, basically known for its two races, the Bathurst 12 hours and the Bathurst 1000 later on in the year. So we're going to do some laps first of all just to see how the car handles this circuit, and then we're going to try and see what a multi-class race would look like around here. If that sounds good, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel. We're trying to hit 140,000 subs at the moment, and yeah, I guess let's head straight out onto the circuit. Well, heading out then onto the circuit here on the mountain, of course. This place is absolutely brutal. So brutal, in fact, that Formula 1 has never come here. And quite frankly, it never will. Obviously, there's been some show runs and things like that in years gone by. I believe Jenson Button actually holds the unofficial lap record around this circuit all the way back in, I think it was 2011, I want to say. Where he came here as part of some brand organisation thing with Vodafone and did a few laps with one of their Australian supercar drivers as well. So I believe the unofficial lap record is like a 1 minute 39 or something like that. Not sure we're going to be able to beat that today, or, you know, we might get close to it. We might absolutely obliterate it. You just never quite know. But yeah, I mean, you make your way down through this section. It is really scary, this circuit. I mean, I've done a fair bit of racing around here. Whoa! Just generally on the sim, as somehow we will keep it out of the barrier there. I did the Bathurst 1000 solo towards the end of last year, and somehow managed to survive it, which I was very happy with. But yeah, it's just a circuit that never gives you any kind of breathing room, any kind of relaxation, or anything like that. And I think that's kind of why Bathurst, you know, is such an iconic and well-loved circuit. You know, it's Australia's Nürburgring in my mind. You know, that's a pretty special kind of prize to claim as well. But yeah, obviously the Bathurst the Bathurst 12 hours though this weekend IRL. Honestly, this year, dare I say it, a little bit disappointing. They've definitely made a mistake putting it so close to Daytona 24. Which is a bit of a shame, to be honest. There's not that many sign-ups. Now, some of you are probably thinking, isn't it a GT3 race? It's not multi-class. Why on earth am I doing multi-class here? Well, it is technically multi-class. It's just 90% of the field normally is GT3. But I think this year, they are obviously, you know, they do get the occasional GT4 numbers and things like that as well in for the race as well. But yeah, all eyes are obviously on the GT3 cars. Anything quicker than that, though, around here would be unbelievable. I mean, look at that. Foot completely to the floor, right the way up over the top of the circuit, but not even a problem in trying to lift. Only when you get, what, down in through Skyline do you need to. Oh, I don't know whether we picked up some damage there, but I'm going to take the fuel out. I'm going to put some new tyres on, and we are going to try and go for one fast lap. Well, I'm going to leave the car in the balanced ERS setting ready for this lap, because ultimately I've found in a couple of practice attempts that it's just too torquey when you've got it in the hot lap mode. But out of the final corner then, up over the line, braking for turn 1, you want to be aiming at about 70 metres out, third gear on the entry, clip that inside curb, although the outside curb on the exit will absolutely punish you there. Open up the DRS as you cycle your way up through the gears and make your way up in towards Griffin's Bend, then turn 1, the famous hell corner, down 2 gears, tip it in. I mean, there's so much grip in these cars, helped of course by the camber through that section. Up the hill we go, all the way down into second gear. They've got to be so careful of the wheel spin on the exit, and then as you get your foot to the floor, completely flat now. As you make your way up over the top of the circuit, you can hear the wheel spin though. Car is still trying at any opportunity to break free if it can, but up over the top of the circuit in towards Skyline we go. You get that beautiful view of the Australian countryside. Oh, nudged the wall that time round. We were lucky to get away with that one. as we try and make our way then back down the other side. I mean, the bumps here are so ridiculous, so aggressive on the suspension as well. Get the power down out of the cutting. I mean, it is so quick I can't even think. And now we prepare ourselves for the chase there, up over 300 kilometers an hour, 200 miles an hour then. It's going to be completely flat through the first part. It just blows the mind how late you brake into there, about 100 meters out. Nice and easy on the throttle again, avoiding the big curves on the exit. What kind of lap time is this going to be here on the mountain? Second gear through that final corner, get the foot to the floor. It is going to be a 1 minute 37.6. I think that beats Jenson Button's lap record here, so that I'm pretty proud of that as well. A 1:37.601. Now let's see what will happen when we put a multi-class race on for show. Well, here we are then, ready on the grid, starting down in P55. As always, we've kept the formula of Formula 1, Formula 2, and Formula 3 cars then for this. And I mean, how? And I mean, this just will not work, will it? Surely. I've got the AI aggression set pretty high as well, so hopefully we'll kind of see some of the Mercs try and get those elbows out with some of the slower cars as well. So just running into the back of one of our F2 cars down in towards turn 1. Oh, I mean, look at that. The Formula 3 car's got nothing on the exit of the corner, like we said in the last one. The F2 car in a straight line is actually pretty pokey against the Formula 1, as we're going to try and find an avenue down the inside of a couple of people. That was an opportunistic lunge. My goal in this one is not crash as many times as I did in the last one of these as we did. But we'll wait and see as to how that goes, as immediately... I mean, to be fair to the Formula 3 car, he did kind of back out of it in the end, but we are just chopping our way through some of these slower cars right now. I mean, how many cars can we get by on lap 1? So getting quite a few little bits of contact for 0x. Almost into the back of a very nice mint-coloured car there to make our way down the hill side by side with one of the other Mercs. To make our way up over Skyline, but again, I mean, down here, it is just a one-line groove. You cannot do anything, against those Formula 3 cars, as you're just trying to navigate your way through. Hope the camber works for us on the exit. That was optimistic, as we've almost rolled it off the corner there. No, I've been tagged again, and the concrete barriers here just do not work for you. Oh, man. Right, come on. Get around that F3 car again. We gained quite a few spots there, I genuinely think. We must have been up sort of around P20, P25, I reckon. But sadly, yeah, that didn't quite work out for us in the way I hoped as we make our way down. But, I mean, yeah, we might end up in this race genuinely not making our way past, you know, some of the even the Formula 2 cars. They might have enough pace around a track like this to be able to stay out in front of us, because even with the AI aggression set pretty high, they just don't really like to go for moves. You know, they just like to try and wait until you're kind of on a straight pretty much, as we're on the outside, whoa, of one of our fellow Mercedes there. We'll give that F3 car a bit of a boost. As we make our way back up the hill once again then. I mean, they just catch you out so quickly. And just how much the speed differences are actually definitely more competitive at the top end than at the low end, as I might not have put enough fuel in the car for this. That might be a problem that we get to later on in this race there, as that was another aggressive move up over the top. I might have left more qualifying levels of fuel in this thing, as just a gaggle of F2 cars sat behind an F3. Can we try and get all the way through? It gets so sketchy up over the top, because we know we can take it flat, we know they can take it flat, but our flat out speed and theirs are two very, very different things, as try and go slow in, fast out. Again, 1,000 horsepower versus less than 300 certainly will give us a bit of a helping hand as we try and get our way down the hill. We've even got some DRS this time round, so we will try and get around the outside of a few more cars here. We're almost up inside the top 20 then. Let's look at this closing in on some Formula 2s. We were 3 wide. That was never going to work for me. As, yeah, that was optimistic. Somehow I got a corner cutting penalty there. I'm not quite sure how that one works. I mean, we found there was a gap there, and then suddenly there just wasn't anymore, which is a little bit of a problem. I mean, we're definitely getting some overtakes done in this one, but just not as kind of consistently as I'd hoped we would be. Ugh, side by side with an F2 car. It's actually been able. How on earth has he hung around the outside of us there at turn 1? That is ridiculous. To be able to have that kind of confidence in that car to make that work, but fair play to him. Like I said, the F2 cars have genuinely been a surprise so far in this. I know they're actually Super Formula cars, but fair play. Japanese Super Formula, their cars are very, very quick. I need to do a race between the Super Formula cars and the Indy cars as well in Sim. I feel like the Indy cars are probably a bit quicker, but I can't imagine there's a huge amount in it between them either. As now we're starting to find a little bit of track space around the venue as well. I mean, imagine if they gave you the option to have DRS up over the top of the hill. That would be just beyond stupid. How on earth is someone already back around to the start-finish line? I mean, that was basically the time I did on our hot lap. And how are they like 30 seconds ahead of me? That is insane speed coming out from some of our front runners there. Yeah, I am really starting to struggle on the fuel. We've got about just under 4 laps left worth of fuel. So yeah, we might run into some problems by the end of this race. But again, you know, these aren't about the final result. They're about having some fun along the way and, you know, tide us over as we make our way through F1's winter break as well. But come on then, get throttled down. I mean, you hear the traction control struggling so much through those final couple of corners. I mean, it's bizarre. I never thought I'd say this about Bathurst, but only in this car have you realised how most of the corners here are high speed. You've really got the final corner, turn 1, and what, like turn 4? Obviously, this is turn 2. Obviously, you've got the kink that kind of leads into it. Pretty much every other corner, I guess the cutting as well. It's like all 4 corners of this circuit are slow, but everything else is just stupidly high speed. And I think we're closing in, whoa, on more of our Formula 2 cars. Once again, I'd be impressed if there's a Formula 3 car still in front of us at this point. I mean, you just think, you come over the top of the hill here, if you're closing in on one of those slower cars, you could be completely blindsided by where they are. Try and get the throttle down again. It's actually a Merc that is next up in front of us. But we're trying to chase some fast lap times here. So hopefully they're going to give us a little bit of slipstream. We'll claim the DRS as well. That's good. And hopefully now we're going to be able to try and get a run then as we make our way down the hill. Enjoy that slipstream as best as we can. Where's a gap? Going to have to go onto the grass, but we'll make it through. And there we go. Another cheeky overtake pulled off. Or triple overtake, I should say. Ah! I was trying to see if we could commit for a fastest lap. We were a decent time up, but unfortunately it hasn't quite worked for me there. I think we might be able to get one more lap in. I think we got a bit more fuel, but it's definitely coming down rather rapidly here. So let's just try and go for another really fast lap time and pray that we don't close in on the Super Formula cars before we get there. But again, you know, these challenges are just meant for a bit of fun, but so far they have been hilarious to attempt inside this game. Just, iRacing is not a sim that you're meant to do these kind of things with, and I just love the fact that we kind of can at the moment. You know, the AI improvements, they're definitely getting there. I wish they were, you know, potentially a bit more crazy, you know, potentially do some more stupid stuff like they can on Assetto Corsa. There will definitely be more challenges on there coming in the not too distant future as well. But, you know, just to try and kind of see what the limit is with iRacing as well has been really, really good fun. And I mean, especially around a track like this and a car like this, you don't get this experience on any other sim, which I think is important to remember as well. I also, at some point soon, need to try and take this car to a rallycross track, because I feel like that would be quite fun. And maybe the Mount Washington hill climb as well there. But we've closed back in then on, I think that's, yeah, the Super Formula cars I mean, that Mercedes is still there. You just cannot find a way around these guys. I think we'll have one more lap worth in the tank after this one, so we'll just keep seeing if we can try and find a little bit more. But yeah, you see top end. Obviously, when we're trying to save battery, those Super Formula cars are very, very quick. This thing's almost got too much downforce, to be completely honest with you guys. There we go, back down the inside. Once again, one more lap to go then, here from Mount Panorama. That's a 38.7, so we need to try and find about another second. As again, Formula 2 car, very defensive in turn 1. We'll get the power down though on the exit, and we'll try and carry the DRS up in towards turn 2. Will we get some slipstream off of the Mercedes? Will we get some DRS around the rest of the lap? That might be critical here. We're trying to claim that fastest lap back for ourselves. We're looking for a 37.7. The car is very, very light on fuel as well, which of course does help us, but does make things even more sketchy. And you're trying to put your foot to the floor right up towards the top there. You see, we are still closing in more and more. Don't know whether the AI will be taking this completely flat out or not. We are definitely closing in still. So, I mean, this is the scary one. You've got to try and time your turn-in point so perfectly and not do that. That's exactly what can go wrong around this circuit as well there. And, well, we were chasing it. You can't deny we weren't committed. But it has not worked for me. I guess that leaves us with one more thing to attempt then in this challenge. The fabled Bathurst jump. Is it possible in a Formula 1 car? For those of you that don't know, there's a bit of a ramp down the end of the back straight here. I don't know if it's even still there, to be honest. But it was always good fun to try and vault over the jump as well. Is it going to be possible? Let's wait and see. Nope, the gravel is too effective. This thing doesn't kind of bounce over the gravel in the way some of the other cars do inside the sim. But there we go then. Formula 1 cars at Mount Panorama. It's as dumb as it's always been, and I absolutely love it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed if you want to see me attempt to do more stupid stuff with Formula 1 cars as well. F1 2002 Career Mode will be back tomorrow as well, so if you guys are wondering where that series is, be there for that, because I think that one's going to surprise a lot of people. But yeah, we'll be back very soon with more Formula 1 content.